Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, this is my first game in NBA 2K22 Next Gen, playing against a win percentage that is higher than my own. So as you're going to see, my GamerTag is LakerFan LA, 90.3 win percentage. This guy right here across from me, 90.9. Now granted, all win percentages are not created equally. Some people play in the stage, which obviously takes a hit on your record. Some people play 2v2, which can be cheesed in certain different ways. Some people are just better at 3v3 like myself as well, so that's what most of my record is included on. I have played a little bit of stage, however, but like I said, we're not here to completely just boast the win percentage or anything like that. Again, it doesn't really matter that much. I do play big man as well, so most of my win percentage is more so tied to my guard shots right here. So anyway, we have a nice competitive gameplay for you guys. I'm not going to give away who won or lost. As you guys know, I do be posting losses as well on the channel, so I hope y'all enjoy it. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to it on the noties, all that good stuff, and like always, let's try this 1,000 likes. Now what you're going to see they come out with is 3 lockdowns. They have a lock at the 1, a lock at the 2, and a lock at the 3. It's a little bit more of a well-rounded lineup where you have a lot of height and a lot of versatility on defense. A lot of people that are really nasty with the passing lanes. You're going to see the rotations even on 3v3 are really clean too, where if I go for that slip, that corner is baiting really good too. So overall, some really good defense by the whole squad. And right there, AK just chucks some crazy stuff. I'm able to actually secure the offensive rebound though, and easy position for that one too. Most times, people are obviously going to call this a free board, where if the guard wanted to take the shot, understandable, but obviously some of those situations can be very dicey. With these 3 right here, it's very risky to do stuff like that. All 3 of them have good rebound rating, and all it takes is for the ball to bounce in one of these crazy directions right here, and it's their rebound. I can't play for a box out on any of them because all 3 of them are surrounding me. So I can't see the right, I can't see the left, I can't see the top. I just have to sit here and hope that none of them crashed. And fortunately, none of them really did crash, as you're going to see. They didn't really freak out. Some people will play like that, though. They don't want to give up any 3-point opportunities, and you're going to see these guys were really keying in on that 3 really hard. We do still, however, get a couple of them, but this was a really ugly start to the game for us. I end up with the ball in my hands. I want to pause this real quick. I'll go ahead and let you see it full speed though, but you guys are going to see that was absolutely a last second bucket. You're going to see I'm going to pause it right at the shot clock, and right here the ball is still in my hands. There's literally only 0.3 left on the clock. Just releases out my hand at 0.1. That could have been a huge momentum shift for them. And also on top of that, I only have like 50 close shot on my build with 25 standing dunks. So it's a very risky take in the first place too. You're going to see a lot of those situations. AK tries to set me up pretty quickly, but if I don't get the ball quick enough, it's going to be a really suspect take. And also, listen, I listened to my subscribers when it came to how to make this build. I loaded up a stream. I was listening to all the feedback you guys had to say. People were vouching hard for 25 standing dunk. I was like, are you guys sure about that? And honestly, this is the last time I ever listened to some crazy outrageous stuff like that. It is really unfortunate that I have 25 standing dunk. If I could redo it, I wish I had like 40 or something like that. Now, if you're playing as a lockdown with this rather than a big man at any time at all, like if you're only gonna be playing the lockdown spot and doing what Tonic is doing with the exact same build, then it's pretty doable if you ask me. Now this right here, I set it up real clean for the lob slip with the curl. I always try and set this up, and what I love about this new patch is things like this are actually valued when it comes to the big man spot now, where I can create this for my point guard by curling it off a little bit. If I dive right down the middle, this guy could easily probably get that passing lane, where if he's sitting like right in this area right here and he just passes the regular A button pass or the icon button pass, it's going to be a little bit suspect. This one right here probably gets through pretty easily, but it is still convenient for your guard to be able to set him up for this lob right here. And like I said, with this update where guards are a little bit less scoring oriented and it's harder for them to get their shots off in a just regular situation where it's going to be harder for them to make the shot. I don't know if anybody's aware of this, but the more you left right, the less consistent your jump shot is. They be getting lates and early glitches and stuff like that too if you're doing too much left right movement. And then on top of that too, it's just harder for them to get open. So to be able to set your guard up with something clean right there is very convenient. You can see I take a step to that point guard right there, and AK is still able to get that steal off. However, with all this, the shot clock resets to 14 off that block right there. And unfortunately, with all of this, it sets up really ugly for us on offense, where AK is trying to get his 3. I'm going to go ahead and try and slip off this. What I want to maybe explain with this, and I hate to really keep rewinding everything, but I just want to explain to you guys, it is very hard, and this is for the point guards out there, it is very hard for your big to set up for a slip when you're coming out the corner like this. Reason being, it's so hard to be able to slip in this situation because this guy is already really close to the paint. He can just go from corner to paint, and this guy, as you're moving to the top, can easily switch up to him. So you're gonna see, boom, he does exactly that. This guy switches up to the guard, and if this guy wasn't trailing and chasing the guard so much, he would have been easily down there to block my shot, and realistically that's a horrible take. And then on top of that, Tonic cuts as well. So overall, we are getting completely bailed out at the beginning of this game. Understandable. And you're going to see, too, they do rim run AK pretty heavily right here. And I don't want to give up the 3 too heavy either. So it's just unfortunate. If you ask me, we probably should have switched AK off the ball. We wanted a little bit more speed to be able to run people off the 3-point line. But on top of that, the way that these guys ended up playing the whole game, we probably should have had somebody that had a little bit of chase down ability to them, or block rating, whatever the case may be. Now, this right here is where I want to talk about the lack of my build's finishing. I am a little bit scared of taking takes like this, where again, I have 25 standing dunk and like 50 close shot. I feel like if I don't get a dunk right here, in which case I was standing still, I don't think I get a dunk at all. The 25 standing dunk is still good for taking standing dunks when you're in motion. I probably could have got one right here, but it's still a very suspect take. I could easily set another slip up and see if they could like improperly defend it on that one. But either way, it ends up being okay because AK gets that 3-pointer off. But I might have sold right there, low-key, if we don't get any points right there. That would have been really brutal, and they would have ended up having a chance to take the lead right here. And as we know, on 3v3, momentum and lead when it comes to the scoreboard is huge. We always want to stay in control of that. If you're having the lead, you can easily keep on taking your twos. However, if you get down by more than like 4 or 5 points, it gets really brutal in terms of having to really 3-hunt, and you end up taking some really horrible shots. Right here, AK ends up getting an open on the green right there. Really beautiful shot. Ends up peeking right before that defender can get any contest on him. And now we're back on defense. Again, he's going to be running this hoop pretty often. It's going to be hard for us to defend, but overall, we're stopping them from getting 3-pointers, so it is what it is. Now, we actually defend them pretty well on this one. AK gets the bump, they go for the lob, he ends up mistiming it, and then off of that, we get the fast break, boom, green on transition in the corner, just like that, 15-8, exactly what I was talking about. It is so hard to come back from situations like this when you're buried in the scoreboard like this situation. And honestly, when you especially are coming out with this ISO stuff and you don't have a build that can really 3-hunt very hard at all, and even if they were to like send someone up for the screens or anything like that, we can easily just play sides on everything. Let's not dodge the subject and just sit here and act like screens take no skill because quote unquote they take no skill. This guy's build right here is clearly tailored toward ISO, and if he were to be using screens, he'd probably be even worse if we're being completely honest. So all of that considered, I'm just here to tell you guys, people use what they use on offense because it's convenient for them. It's not because of pride or lack of trying to, you know, degrade the way they play or anything like that. Just being honest. So Tonic ends up trying to come out the corner right there, go for the contact dunk. He's bodied up super early, and here's all the situations that arise where they end up getting kind of back in this game. So Tonic kind of drops off the corner right there. They could have got a 3 right there as well, and that would have been huge for them. Ended up at 13-15, and just like that, they would have been really just one easy possession down. I know there's still one possession down, but it would have been a much more convenient and doable take right there. This right here is where I want to talk about the ability of their lineup, which is so hard to deal with. And this is kind of the perk of having a taller, less fast guard, so to say, where he looks like 6'4", maybe even 6'5", or something like that. He could be maybe 6'3", I might be tweaking though, but either way, with this taller guard and all this stuff right here, and this guy playing the corner, who's a very viable defender, what he can do is he can scare me out of these takes a little bit, and he can scare AK out of those passes as well. Or on top of that, he's a little bit more scared of checking it to the corner himself as well. So all this considered, having 3 viable defenders is very elite when it comes to the defensive side. And if you can make up for it on offense by at least just taking your 2s and being able to ISO very convenient and super easy for the 2s, then it is what it is. Right here though, like I said, I tried to pass over to the corner on the last one. They ended up sending a rotation there, and I couldn't even get it to Tonic, and we had to reset entirely. This right here is absolutely brutal. I'm not going to be honest with you guys. This is straight miscommunication, and you're going to watch. AK was trying to patch up this corner for Tonic so he can get back, but then when Tonic sees AK in the corner, he ends up thinking that AK is just trying to play corner and Tonic's on ball. So then Tonic comes up to the top when he's supposed to be in the corner most likely. And again, this is all miscommunication. We don't really care if someone guards someone. You know, if Tonic were to want to guard ball or I want to guard ball, honestly, I have lock take on. I probably should have been guarding ball if we're being completely real. But overall, if someone wants to be guarding ball, it's not that big a deal. However, it's just miscommunications. We don't know what other people are thinking in that moment, and we should have been talking about it. Right here is a really clean pick and roll game. I want to explain this where this is actually something that people do pretty consistently, where you can get them on this really easy. So what ends up happening is these guys should have been playing sides all the way through and through. So this guy should have been picking up on the right. He sees that I'm clearly running some screen action here. This guy does not need to chase the guard. You're already done for. Like, clearly you're not catching up to that guard, especially if I get in the way or anything like that. So if I were to set a screen or something like that too, obviously it's even more evident that he would be stuck. Me personally though, I obviously know that me setting his full screen right here makes absolutely no sense, because then this guy could just full switch onto AK easy. So when I slip, it applies the pressure on this right side defender. He drops with me subliminally. It's not even something that he probably meant to do. He just thinks in the moment, he's like, oh snap, free 2. We've been giving it up all game, stuff like that too, even though I only have like 8 points. But either way, he drops a little bit, and just like that, 2 people follow AK, but it doesn't matter. They're in no man's land. They had no defensive principles to what they were doing right there, no communication either. And again, this is really just 2 good teams trading back and forth, miscommunications, and playing bad. It's 2 good teams. Clearly they're good, we're good. But overall, we had a lot of mistakes, they had a lot of mistakes, and whoever capitalized on it the most is probably who just won. So after AK's done hacking, we end up on the ball right here. Now, what I'm going to do is front the corner. I don't care if he gets a backdoor or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is support my point guard in the way he's defending. He's trying to take him away from the 3-point line. I am playing a passing lane at the same time as sending some help toward this wing right here, so that if he gets beat toward the right, I can easily step up on it. For instance, right here, I could scare him out of the 3-pointer a little bit in terms of he could play for the crab on AK right here, and then boom, just like that, he'd get the 3 off. With this, I'm scaring him out of it while still being in this passing lane with it. He ends up throwing it right at my head though, where I'm like right next to him. But even at that, I got lock take. I got crazy speed, vertical, perimeter defense, all types of stuff like that. Hall of Fame intimidator. I'm tracking stuff down on that perimeter. Unfortunately though, when we try and do what I would like to think was probably the smart play, that was a pretty clean lob. I would like to think people were a little bit out of that play. But either way, they have 3 very viable defenders. He gets back on that in transition. He keeps up with me. And just like that, they get a transition 3 of their own off a messed up lob, where we had one earlier as well. Now this right here, it's a little bit suspect. You can see there wasn't exactly a really clean take, but with that, of the exact same thing we were talking about in this right side corner where I dropped and then the right side defender dropped out too. What you're going to see is I slip, the left side defender tries to follow me because it's game point. It's 20-18. They can't give up an easy dunk. And fortunately for these guys' sake, they know that as well. They're pretty smart players. I'll give them that. A lot of people that I've played against in the video yesterday even, we played against some pretty good people. They're like 80+ win percentage. They gave up a free slip for a game on this exact situation. Free 2 points of me just dunking the ball. Easy as that. You don't want to give that up. However, with this, you can see this right side guy oversteps to the right, and then AK ends up running to the left, and this guy was playing for the on-ball lane. They dropped the corner as well, and he is not high enough on this left side. What it really is, though, if you ask me, is this guy just overplayed the right side and really just ended up getting himself out the play. This guy does need to drop to me. He needs to be able to be in this passing lane and not let me get the bucket. However, again, this right side guy, he is just completely out that play. Game over. Simple as that. Just 2 good teams going back and forth, trading some blows. I really do enjoy gameplays like this. I really want to get in the stage in the future and be able to actually play against good teams like this constantly and show you guys some really good intellectual gameplay and stuff like that. And granted, I know there's going to be people out here talking about, all shots does is left, right. It still takes no skill to do so. Listen, I'm going to be with you guys. If you can't stop a guard anymore, your team's just not it. You aren't doing the right things. These guards are not that hard to guard anymore, especially with good lockdown defenders on your team. On top of that, we had our point guard guarding him. Now, granted, he was 6 for 6 with all dunks, but on top of that, I mean, the 3-point battle is just not there. Now, if you ask me, that's kind of on these guys. If they come out here with 3 locks, and as you can see, they have lock takeover at all 3 positions. If you come out here with 3 locks, you should 100% be getting more stops than what you got in this game. I'm sure if you ask them, they would agree. They probably think that they played bad defense in this game as well. And overall, giving up 5 3-pointers is not good defense. And we managed to only give up 2. And again, that is kind of based on their lineup, but it's more so the fact that they came out here with the triple ISO, or just the ISO at the point guard spot where they're just, trying to dog AK out in the paint. Simple as that, right? But with that lineup, it's more defensive. They should be getting more stops than what they were doing, and they should be giving us more problems. I'm not going to lie, though. Early in the game, you guys obviously saw there were some really, really tough takes that we had, and I was able to get a couple really BS finishes and stuff like that, too. But overall, we started to kind of turn up, if you ask me. AK was hitting a lot of really good shots, getting himself open. My slips were getting him open, too, subliminally. And then on top of that, too, he was still hitting me on some nice curl-off lobs, stuff like that, too. Overall, it was really good. Anyway, that's all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try to win 1,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put 90 in the comments to show support to me all the way through, or put the percentage sign. I'm not sure if YouTube will like that. It's pretty vague, but either way, if you want to put the percentage sign or 90 or 90%, feel free to do so. And also, again, I just do want to mention, I'm not sitting here trying to boast my win percentage. I really don't think it's that important, but I think it was kind of interesting to match up against people that had a higher win percent than myself. We haven't even done that all year, and it's pretty crazy to do so. That obviously means they are winning quite a few games, because we win 9 out of 10 of our games constantly. So anyway, that's all the video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and like I said, if you did, drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all good stuff. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.